What's going on YouTube? Username Kite562 here with another Junji Ito review, and it's of Junji Ito's adaptation of Frankenstein. Right here. So here's the thumbnail. So anyway, with this adaptation, Junji Ito's Frankenstein is an adaptation of Mary Shelley's classic novel of the same name. Now, with this collection alone, you see that it has Junji Ito's iconic work, just nice work on the spine, in this lovely light purple color. I just have to say, the cover itself is really nice and really appealing, but the other interesting thing about this manga, it's not just a sole adaptation of Frankenstein, but it's also a short story collection that Junji Ito is most notably known for, or like with his long-form stories like Uzumaki Ikkyo and Tomiya that I've said many times on this channel, but I have to say I just got reading a good chunk of the short stories today to completion, and I really enjoyed this collection. And I have to say I haven't read the original novel by Mary Shelley of Frankenstein, but I have seen a good chunk of the black and white Universal movies. I've also seen Gene Wilder's Young Frankenstein, so there. I really enjoy that one. And I also really enjoyed this adaptation of Frankenstein. It was just a real treat. Like, when I started it, I just could not put it down. It was just an absolutely delightful experience. Now, within the contents of this manga collection, you get 11 short stories within this manga, so I'll tell them to you. So the first story is, of course, Frankenstein. The next story is Neck Spectre. On top of that, it's Bog of Living Spirits, Pen Pal, Intruder, The Strange Tale of Oshikiri, The Strange Tale of Oshikiri the Walls, The Hell of the Doll Funeral, Face Firmly in Place, Boss Non Non, and Hide and Seek with Boss Non Non. Now, I have to say, I really liked the Oshikiri series within this manga collection, along with, I want to say Face Firmly in Place, but I also have to say that the two Boss Non Non bonus stories were really delightful. And again, like I have to say, Frankenstein has to be my top pick for the favorite story in this collection, since it's basically the namesake, of the collection, but I really enjoyed it as a reader. I mean, with the way that Victor Frankenstein and his creation were illustrated in the story, I'm not going to show it in this video, but it was just absolutely phenomenal. Like, with the way that Frankenstein's monster would conduct certain things, and a little warning, spoilerish warning, there is a child's death within this story, but I have to say, with Frankenstein's creation of the monster, it really gave me a kind of vibe of Michael Myers, but with a new Junji Ito-like twist. Like, you get to see Junji Ito's masterful artwork complement a classic piece of literature, and I just think that's absolutely phenomenal, and I have nothing but praise for this version. But I am listening to an audiobook version of the original Mary Shelley novel of Frankenstein, so I'll probably do a more in-depth review video of the story. But I have to say, from what I've listened to, like a good 3 hours of content of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, I pretty much listened to it while I did some housework around the house, but hey, both have their pros and cons. But I have to say, for me, I really enjoyed Junji Ito's adaptation. This is a really solid and really faithful adaptation, with a little bit of more stuff akin to some of the sequel movies, like Bride of Frankenstein, at least from what I can remember. It was a sequel, so it's been a while since I've seen the black and white films. It's been a chunk of years, but not too many. So I have to say I really enjoyed this story, and I'm definitely going to reread this for the Halloween seasons to come, plural. So I have to say my 3 favorite stories from this collection have to be, of course, Frankenstein and Face Firmly in Place and Hide and Seek with Boss Non Non. Funny enough, those two stories of Boss Non Non were an absolutely wholesome delight after all the horror and stuff. It's always good to complement manga reading with different genres. I mean, for me as a manga reader, it's mainly just comedy, shonen, and horror, so right now, but I'm new to manga collecting. So anyway, I have to say, the adaptation by Junji Ito is really solid, and overall I give this collection an 8.9 out of 10. I mean, this collection alone, it's absolutely great. It's absolutely phenomenal and enjoyable, so it's just a wonderful read for any season. So anyway, I thought I'd just read the back for you, just to, you know, ease new readers into this book, because I really don't want to spoil it for new readers too much. So, the master of horror manga bends all his skill into bringing the anguished and solitary monster and the fouler beast who created him to life with the brilliantly detailed chiaroscuro for which he is known. Also included are 6 tales of Oshikiri, a high school student who lives in a decaying mansion connected to a haunted parallel world. Uncanny doppelgangers unfortunately murdered friends, and a whole lot more are in store for him. And bonus, the Ito family dog! Thrill to the adventures of Nonon Ito, an adorable Maltese. I just thought this manga alone has been on my radar for a while, and I got it as an early birthday gift from my girlfriend. So thank you. I really appreciate this, and I love you so much. So shout out to you. uh, So anyway, yeah, Frankenstein, I'm really happy I finally got to read a version of Mary Shelley's classic novel in like a familiar Junji Ito adaptation, and I have to say the visuals within the main stories were just absolutely solid, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the way that Mr. Ito illustrated the monster, it was just absolutely phenomenal. Like, it was this fusion mix, and with the way it was like a fusion mix of like Boris Karloff's The Mummy with kind of a mix of like the Crypt Keeper from Tales of the Crypt, in my opinion, but still kind of ominous, but you still had that brutal Michael Myers like strength from Frankenstein's creation, from what I remember reading the main story yesterday. And I just absolutely just, I have nothing but praise for this story. It's really enjoyable, and I'm just really happy, and I really do hope Mr. Ito has a chance to adapt Stephen King's It, or any of Stephen King's works, or I wouldn't mind seeing him adapt some of the classic Goosebumps monsters in his own art style. I just think that'd be really interesting. But first and foremost, I just hope Mr. Ito gets a chance to adapt Stephen King's The Shining, It, and Pet Sematary as like a starter trilogy of manga. Like, adapt those stories into like a manga format, because if it did, I cannot talk today, but so I just really hope that those 3 novels get adapted by Mr. Ito in a manga format. I just think that'd be absolutely wonderful for him. And anyway, this is Kite562 signing out. What was your favorite part of Junji Ito's adaptation of Frankenstein? Let me know down in the comments below, or, you know, I usually post links to these videos on my Reddit page. You can click on the link on my little channel, my channel banner that says my Reddit page, so it's right there in the bottom right. But if you want to see more content from this channel, you can hit that little subscribe button on the bottom right with my little blue box on the bottom right of this video, orange font. So anyway, yeah, this is a really memorable collection, but I just wanted to make this video quick. So anyway, this is Kite562 signing out. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more content from this channel. As always, I hope you all have a wonderful day, everybody. Later.